serve me loyal, got to be spoiled. Ooh, put me up high.
Hey, welcome back to Girl Talk Unfiltered. Or maybe I should say, welcome to a new chapter of it. If you've been waiting for the first episode to drop, something's changed. And today, I want to talk about it openly. Because if there's one thing this show stands for, it's being real, even when it's a little uncomfortable. So yes, the biggest change is this. It's just me now. There's no drama, no tea, just life. People grow, priorities shift, and sometimes the path you start on with someone else turns into two different paths. That's what happened with me and my former co-host. We started this podcast with so much excitement, a mother-daughter duo who wanted to speak freely, unpack life, and say all the things people usually hold in. And we did that. We created something we're both proud of. But as time passed, it became clear that we were in different seasons of life with different energies and commitments. And instead of forcing it, we decided to honor that and let the show evolve naturally. But honestly, everyone doesn't see or share your vision. And sometimes daughters don't want to spend that much time with their mothers. And that's okay. It is what it is. It's a part of life. And I accept this change. So now it's Girl Talk, unfiltered with me. Still honest, still soft and messy and real. Still the kind of conversations you have at midnight with your best friend when your guard is down and your heart is wide open. The format might feel a little different, more solo storytelling. I'll still have guests more often than not, more voice notes from me to you. But the heart of the show, it hasn't changed at all. I still want to talk about the real stuff, disappointment, change, getting older, friendships that end, the quiet griefs, the unexpected joys, relationships of all kinds, the moments that make you pause and ask, is it just me? Or the ones that make you say, what the fuck? And I'll still show up here with you, unfiltered. To everyone who listened before, thank you so much, truly. To those sticking around now, I see you. And if you're new here, welcome. You came at the right time. We're growing, we're shifting, we're still talking. That's it for now. Thanks for being here for this next version of the show. And maybe even the next version of me, solo, but still unfiltered. Which brings me to my first episode. Hey, I'm Carol Reed, and this is Girl Talk Unfiltered. Real women, real talk, zero bullshit. If you're ready to laugh, cry, and get real about relationships of all kinds and just life in general, you've come to the right place. Grab your wine or whatever keeps you sane, and let's dive in. Today's episode is entitled Disappointment, Growing Pains, Aging, and Letting Go. I'm Carol Reed, and this is the space where we take a breath, peel back the layers, and just get real. The space where we slow down, get honest, and sit with the stuff most of us carry around quietly inside. Today's episode is one I've been sitting with for a while. It's about disappointment and the strange way it seems to shapeshift as we get older. You know, there's this subtle shift that happens with age, not just in our bodies or routines, but in the way we now see the world. When you're younger, life feels infinite. You have time to do everything, be everything. The future is wide and open. But then, somewhere along the way, maybe in your late 20s, maybe earlier, maybe later, You start to feel the walls close in just a little. Some doors don't open, others shut. You realize not everything will happen, not everyone stays, and not every version of you will come to life. That realization, it stings. That's disappointment. And it's not always about one big failure. Sometimes it's just a quiet collection of things that didn't turn out the way we hoped. Maybe it's a career that never quite took off, a relationship that ended, or even just the person you thought you'd be by now. And the one staring back in the mirror feels like a stranger. That's the disappointment in ourselves. The life we thought we'd have by now, the version of us we thought we'd become. But there's also the disappointment in others. People we trusted, people we loved, people who just didn't show up the way we needed them to. And as we age, both kinds seem to come into sharper focus. When you're young, disappointment feels like an interruption, a detour, like something went wrong, but there's still time to fix it. But as you get older, it starts to feel more final, like some things just are what they are. Some people won't change, some apologies won't come, some dreams don't land the way you hoped they would. And that's a hard truth to swallow. My own personal reflection, well, a year ago, I ended my marriage after 26 years. This was not an easy decision, and it took me 10 years to finally get up the courage to make that move. I was terrified. And you know what I was terrified of? I was terrified of being alone. Ain't that crazy? Because I was married, but for the last 10 or 12 years of that marriage, I still felt alone. And I'm alone now. And it's really not that bad. But I'm alone now by choice. Well, I ended it because I could no longer live with the constant disappointments of my marriage. And as we get older and hopefully wiser, we grow and change. Sometimes in doing so, we outgrow the people in our lives. Things change as they're supposed to, and some people grow together, and unfortunately, some grow apart. It was hurting me more to stay and pretend. So I boldly decided to leave and find my peace. I wasn't happy. I felt numb inside. I felt like this just can't be all there is to life. There has to be more. This just can't be it. And that's how I was feeling. I mean, where is my love story at? Where is my great fairy tale romance? Where's my soulmate? Where's the person that's supposed to actually get me? Where's the person that won't take me for granted? It has not been easy for me to make this change. But change is never easy, but it is necessary sometimes. Life is too short to just be okay or I'm all right. No, I wanted to be happy. I demand to be happy. It is my God-given birthright to be happy and to enjoy life. We need to learn how to go after what will truly make us happy and not settle for anything less. Well, that's enough about me. Back to our topic of disappointment. Let's start with the personal kind, the disappointment in yourself. There's a subtle grief in aging that no one really warns you about, not just physical aging, but the emotional side. The mourning of the paths not taken, the skills never learned, the person you wanted to be but didn't quite become. You look back at your 20s and maybe you wonder why you didn't take more risks. Or maybe you did take the risks and you wonder why they didn't work out. There's a version of you that existed only in potential, and letting that version go can hurt. Even if your life now is good, even if you're grateful, there's still a twinge, a wondering. Never give up on your dreams. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to start all over. I've started over so many times in my life. Oh my God. I don't even know if I have enough fingers to count how many times I done started over. Hell, like I was telling y'all a year ago, I started over. And this time, I am determined to become the best version of me possible. Learn to never live with regrets. Try the new thing. Take a different path. Love someone you never thought you would or could. Be bold and courageous. Learn that new language. Take that trip to Bora Bora or to Paris or Jamaica or to the next state. You only have one life to live, and life is so short. None of us know when the clock is going to stop ticking. Grab your happiness without apologies and live your authentic self. Take off the mask. Stop hiding your truth. So many of us walk around wearing a mask every single day. Why? What are you scared of? Are you afraid that if people saw the real you, they would think less of you or they wouldn't like you? Oh no, that's not the case. Take off the mask. If nobody likes the real, authentic you, then the hell with them. You don't need them in your life anyway. Remember, you only got one life to live. The clock is ticking. Find your happiness, whatever it is, regardless of what anybody thinks. As long as you're pleasing yourself and as long as it's pleasing to God, go for it. Do it. It's your life and it's going to be over with before you know it. So make the best of it now. And then there's disappointment in people, other people. This one cuts deep because sometimes we build entire emotional homes in other people. We trust them. We give them our heart. We give them our mind. Sometimes we even give them a piece of our soul. We expect them to be solid ground. But people are human. They mess up. They let you down. Sometimes in small ways, and sometimes in ways that tear your world apart. Maybe it's a parent who never really saw you or was just never there. A friend who faded out when life got hard. A partner who made promises and didn't keep them. Or someone you looked up to who turned out to be deeply flawed. And maybe they didn't mean to disappoint you. Maybe they were doing their best with what they had, but that doesn't erase the pain. One of the toughest lessons in growing up, really growing up, is realizing that not everyone will be who you need them to be. And sometimes you won't be who you thought you'd be either. But here's the other thing. Disappointment isn't the enemy. It's part of the deal, part of growing up. Because when we let go of the fantasy version of our lives, we make space for the real one. And it's in that space, the raw, unscripted middle, where a different kind of beauty shows up. It's a kind of quiet grief, but also, weirdly, a kind of freedom. We stop chasing perfect. We start accepting enough. We start loving what's real. Because when we stop expecting people to be perfect, when we stop expecting ourselves to always get it right, we create space for real things, real love, real connection, and real acceptance. Not the fantasy, not the filtered version, but something more grounded, more resilient, more real. Disappointment isn't the end of the story. It's just a chapter, one you write around, one you grow through, one that helps shape who you become next. And in a strange way, it clarifies what matters, who stays, who shows up, and who you choose to become, even when things don't go according to plan. Yes, getting older means collecting disappointments, but it also means collecting perspective. And we learn, sometimes painfully, how to keep going, even when the road doesn't look like the one we pictured. If you're carrying some disappointment in yourself, in someone else, in the way your life is unfolding, I just want to say, you are not alone, and you're not broken. You're just human, and you're still becoming. So if you're feeling behind or let down or like you missed your shot, you're not alone. We all feel like that at times. And you know what? You're probably doing better than you think. There's a quiet strength in showing up anyway, in building a life out of reality instead of fantasy, in forgiving yourself for not being everything. Just say to yourself, I forgive you for not being everything. I forgive you because you did the best you could with what you had at the time. Let the past soften you, not harden you. Let it teach you where to put your energy now. Let it remind you you're still here, you're still worthy, and there's still more ahead. And it's up to you to make the best out of it. Thanks for being here. You're doing much better than you think. Take care of yourself. You're doing just fine. Thanks for joining me on Girl Talk Unfiltered. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend and drop a review. Send me your story or questions at girltalkunfiltered2@gmail.com. And tune in next week for another honest conversation. Until then, stay bold, stay honest, and above all, stay unfiltered. Your voice matters. You matter. If you want to become a sponsor of this podcast, send an email to girltalkunfiltered2@gmail.com. Download and or subscribe. Please like or follow us on social media. On our Facebook and YouTube page is a form to have your comments read on the show. To be on our email list, go to our Facebook or YouTube page and fill out the form. Form your own Girl Talk group. Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen. Merchandise coming soon, mugs, t-shirts, and a few surprises. Thanks for tuning in to Girl Talk Unfiltered. If you've laughed, nodded, or had an aha moment, share this episode with your favorite women. We're here every week pouring the truth, one glass at a time, across generations with zero bullshit. Follow us on social media and leave us a review. It helps more women find our real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay honest, and stay unfiltered. Bye, guys.